3, 2, 1. Go see. My cue.
Next, a local high school teacher arrested and accused of having a sexual relationship with a student. And police have arrested 3 16-year-old boys in connection with a sexual assault on a girl that led to her suicide. Tonight, what her parents want all parents to know. Plus, you won't find a bigger porch swing in the world. The Guinness Book of World Records says so, but you'll find it in Moss Bluff. And tonight, you'll meet the man who made it. 7 News Nightcast starts now.
Go see.
Now,
keep your carts loose.
Definition, sponsored by Nissan.
Coming out, Keen.
This is 7 News Nightcast.
Go Key, my cue.
Good evening. A toddler dead, a victim of what investigators call shocking abuse. Here's a picture of Tatiana Holyfield. She suffered third-degree burns by a space heater. And here's a picture of the man Allen Parish Sheriff deputies believe abused her, 29-year-old Bobby Davis Jr. Sheriff Doug Hebert speculates that looking at the severity of the burns, Davis held the girl down on the space heater. And after more investigation, they discovered the girl's body had numerous bruises and cuts that officials believe may be linked to previous abuse. Hebert says the sheriff's office received the call Thursday afternoon from the Allen Parish Hospital when the girl's mother and boyfriend, Bobby Davis Jr., brought in the deceased child. And now investigators say they will make sure justice is served.
2.
The amount of agony that child went through.
31 seconds in jail. It's out. We're going to come back keyed for the tag, then we'll advance our key on air.
Physical contact with that heater was made to happen over a prolonged
15.
Period, long enough for the metal grating to burn through the skin and the flesh.
10.
We are taking every precaution to make sure that this investigation
5
is
seconds.
done right and properly, and so that the person responsible that hopefully gets to spend the rest of his life in jail.
Mike Q.
Bobby Davis Jr. is in jail. No bond has been set yet. The girl's mother was not at home during the incident. As of right now, Sheriff Hebert says there's no evidence linking her to her daughter's death.
Advance your key.
A Moss Bluff school teacher accused of crossing the line with a student.
Full screen.
State police say 37-year-old Lance Duhon had a sexual relationship with a female student at Sam Houston High School.
And then go to a package out of 3.
They found text messages of a sexual nature between the teacher and the student. Tonight, Duhon is charged with indecent behavior with a juvenile, as well as sexual contact between an educator and student.
Police have arrested going to sound from C, package out of 3.
In connection with a California sexual assault and suicide. The victim's family say they want all parents to learn from what happened.
C.
Monty Francie reports.
Sound of 3.
15-year-old Audrey Pott is remembered by her family and friends as a
24 coming together as the out cue. We'll come back to the same key and then we'll advance our key on air.
With the blessing of her parents. As their attorney explained, the family wants to make sure this never happens again.
The message is that through her story, we want to make the society safer and better so that these things don't happen.
Allard says Audrey was at an unsupervised house party in Saratoga this past September 2nd and was inebriated when a group of boys sexually assaulted her.
Based on what we know, Audrey was unconscious. There were multiple boys in the room with her. They did unimaginable things to her while she was unconscious. Making it much worse is the fact that afterwards, apparently a photo or multiple photographs were taken of the assault as it was taking place.
Allard says those photos were posted online and were seen by several students at the high school. In the days that followed, Audrey wrote on her Facebook page, quote, "The whole school knows my life is ruined now." 8 days after the assault, Audrey Pott took her own life.
10 seconds.
She was just absolutely humiliated. She must have felt tortured, and she decided to
5 seconds. Stand by.
As a result of all these things coming together.
Mike Q.
Right now, the 3 teenage suspects are being held in juvenile detention, but the victim's family wants them tried as adults. An Amber Alert has been issued for a Dallas area 12-year-old girl. There's information she may be headed to Louisiana.
Stick around with these full screens and we'll come back centered.
She's 5'6" tall and weighs 90 pounds. Police are looking for 43-year-old Lisa Brown, suspected of abducting the girl. She's 5'8" tall and weighs 120 pounds. Police say Brown is driving a gray 2006 Ford Expedition with Texas temporary plates with the number 86P3357. If you see either of the two, you're urged to call police immediately. Why would a violent offender from New Orleans be imported to Calcasieu Parish to participate in a work release program? That's just one of the concerns about Dustin. He was the man arrested for the murder of Brittany Gross last December. Pleasant had been previously arrested for shooting at a police officer in New Orleans in 2005.
We're going to mix to a solid out of 2.
Eligible for a work release program here in Lake Charles. Pleasant committed suicide at Angola. Calcasieu Sheriff Tony Mancuso says he is working with House Speaker Chuck Grassley to pass legislation allowing sheriffs to charge inmates the cost of ankle bracelets if they're in a work release program. Mancuso thinks work release programs serve a good purpose.
We know what they're going to do if they get out of jail. They got no job, they got no money.
It's out 29 seconds, incarcerated, more VO. We're going to go to a full screen.
The majority of them are going to continue to commit the crimes that they were committing when they
D is back in. Push your audio.
We at least try
15
at no cost to the taxpayers to give them employment
10
to where they'll have a little money in their pocket and they're paying their own way. At that point,
5
the that program,
the
taxpayers are not paying for their incarceration anymore. They're paying for their own incarceration.
Mike Q.
Mancuso says since the Gross murder, they no longer accept work release inmates from outside of Calcasieu Parish. And this man was hit over the head with a shovel and then
we're going to come out to video out of 3.
Calcasieu Sheriff deputies say 59-year-old Alvin Sylvester Jr. of Lake Charles stabbed a man during an incident at Sylvester's estranged wife's home. The victim was cut in the arm but managed to hit Sylvester with a shovel during the attack. Sylvester is charged with attempted second-degree murder.
Video's on.
And this is what Beauregard Parish Sheriff deputies say they found in a DeRitter home. 24 marijuana plants with an estimated street value of $7,500.
Full screen.
And investigators say they belong to this man. 73-year-old Johnny Neal of DeRitter was charged with manufacturing and distributing of marijuana and carrying an illegal weapon.
And take it out.
And an I-10 traffic stop this morning in Sulphur leads to a drug bust.
Come back to 3 and a 2.
This is what they found hidden in a Florida man's vehicle with the help of their canine Hugo. 44 pounds of marijuana with an estimated street value of $66,000. 55-year-old Robert Marlowe was arrested.
And wiping.
A stunt plane pilot survives a mid-air mechanical problem. The pilot was more than 3,000 feet up over Acadia Parish when something went wrong and he had to bail out.
Stand by 3 and a 2.
Sorry, the Estoril community. The pilot parachuted safely to the ground with just minor injuries. Well, lots of outdoor events going on this weekend. Wade, will the weather cooperate with us?
Definitely tomorrow, Cynthia. Things look good for anything going on Saturday. Now, Sunday, I think we're definitely going to see some rain, at least in the morning hours, but no rain tonight. Here's 7 Storm Vision HD along with the satellite. You can see nothing much showing up anywhere. There are a few high, thin clouds moving overhead, but I do not expect any rain tonight, nor much of the day tomorrow. I think during the daytime, we will be dry. Temperatures, though, have started to fall back down into the 50s in some areas. 58 here in Lake Charles. Cool spot, no surprise. Goes to Oakdale at 54 degrees, 60 currently in Jennings, 63. Abbeville, the forecast will pretty much hold steady and kind of slowly continue to fall through the early morning hours tomorrow, eventually down into the low 50s, maybe even some 40s. A rapid warm-up tomorrow. I've got more, though, on those rain chances for Sunday coming up in a few minutes, Cynthia.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade. The Secretary of State is downplaying nuclear missile concerns surrounding North Korea and says there is a united front steadfast on preventing the country from becoming a nuclear power. John Kerry said the U.S. will enter into talks with the North, but under strict conditions. More tonight from Renee Marsh.
This is a minute 32 standard out key. We're going to come back key for the tag, then we'll go to video out of 1 for the bump and the break. Camera 1 can give me a zoom out.
Defend our allies and defend ourselves.
A stern voice, but leaving the door open for negotiations.
We are prepared to work with the conviction that relations between the North and the South can improve, and they could improve very quickly.
Kerry making it clear the U.S. will only talk to the North if it gives up its nuclear weapons. But that could be a non-starter for leader Kim Jong-un. Kerry is in Seoul meeting with South Korea's foreign minister. Meantime, more questions about whether Pyongyang can deliver a nuclear weapon or not. The question comes after a portion of an assessment report that was supposed to be classified was mistakenly marked declassified and read aloud at a hearing on Capitol Hill this week.
DIA assesses with moderate confidence the North currently has nuclear weapons capable of delivery by ballistic missiles.
But the White House disagrees and is pushing back.
What they have not done is demonstrate a capacity to, a capability to deploy a nuclear-armed missile, attach a warhead to a missile and fire it.
Secretary Kerry downplaying the report too. He says it would be inaccurate to suggest North Korea is able to launch nuclear missiles. In Washington, I'm Renee Marsh.
Mike, you.
Kerry will head to China next, the closest ally of North Korea. Coming up next, you won't find a bigger port swing in the world. The Guinness Book of World Records says so. And you'll find it in Moss Bluff. Tonight, you'll meet the man who made it. That story is 7 News Nightcast continues.
3, 2, 1, fade, take it. 15. Oh, we're coming out centered. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. Standing by on cam. Mike, you, Cynthia.
It's a feat that not many people can swing, but as Tony Lang tells us, one local man is rocking his name in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Mike, you.
It's one man's handiwork that's drawing in the crowds to his Moss Bluff home. Take a look at a backyard site that you won't see anywhere else.
So I've been building port swings since I was about 12.
When Chris Cruz isn't at work or making duck calls,
well, this is 2 minutes. Big things is the out cue. We'll come back to the flash, then we'll go to 1 in the monitor. Make sure Wade knows it's just him for the bump.
We've built and sold
and Cynthia
across the world.
I guess
now
they both
he's been
should
building
know.
swings like this one for 28 years, but it's an idea he had 6 months ago that led him to the Guinness Book of World Records.
A buddy of mine, Bill Gottberg, in Omaha, Nebraska, sent me a picture of the world's longest port swing in Hebron, Nebraska. And when I saw this swing I was
like, hell no.
You're big enough to be a world record.
So Chris took matters into his own hands. In less than 2 weeks, he doubled the record.
Sits 40 people. We weighed it. It weighs 548 pounds. Made out of cypress.
Building a swing that long did present some challenges.
It'll hold about 40 adults, and if you do the math, that's about 9,000 pounds that it has to hold. So the support structure for this, this swing has to be very heavy duty.
But just constructing the swing didn't mean he was a shoo-in for the world record.
I had to have a couple of witnesses, right, verify that he measured it correctly. I had to have a video, I had to have pictures.
For Cruz, his favorite part wasn't when he received the world record title.
That's right there.
But it was spending time with family.
30.
I just helped them put the boards down and hand stuff to them and stuff.
I've always told my friends that I could. My dad made a world record.
So
pretty much the only dad and probably in my school that has done that.
Pretty much.
Pretty well teamwork. It's been like that
15
for us. We help one another with just about anything that we run into.
And for now,
10
the world's
seconds.
largest porch swing sits right here in Louisiana.
And it just shows the kids and the family and everybody else that, even though we're in a little town in a suburb of Lake Charles, Louisiana, we can do big things.
Mike, you.
Cruz says he plans to donate the swing one day, but for now, it'll sit at his home in Moss Bluff. At your service, Courtney Lane, KPLC 7 News.
And Mikey Wayne.
Well, that's really neat. Certainly a nice day to be outside, maybe to set on said port swing or anything else outside this afternoon. Mid to upper 70s.
Stand by your break.
I do expect it to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. Then some changes are on the way. You might not want to be sitting outside on that porch swing by Sunday. I've got to look at your forecast coming up right after this.
Kills Mike and fade. Nice segue. 30 seconds. $15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go
Now
see.
your pinpoint
Stand by
forecast
Wade.
with Chief Meteorologist Wade Hampton.
Mikey.
Well, good evening, Tina. Certainly a beautiful day earlier, but as expected, now that the sun is set, temperatures have already started to fall off. So really kind of cool feeling outside with temperatures already down into the 50s. We'll look at the forecast for this evening. We'll continue dropping down, eventually down to the low 50s. I think, though, if you live anywhere north of I-10, still likely to be in the upper 40s tomorrow morning, but we will definitely continue to warm up through the next few days. But unfortunately, rain is going to return to our forecast as well, starting very late Saturday night. Not to worry tomorrow during the day. If you got any plans, maybe you're headed out to the Crawfish Festival here in Lake Charles, maybe you're headed to the Railroad Days Festival up into Quincy. That goes on through the evening hours. I think all of those activities or anything else going on over the area looks fine. But it will be late in the evening, probably after midnight, when we're likely to see some showers returning to our area. Late Saturday night, probably technically after midnight, so we'll put it into the Sunday morning category. Then they should be moving on to the east. Now, if you got travel plans to our east, definitely not a pretty day Sunday in places like Baton Rouge and New Orleans and points east from there. But certainly tonight, not a bad one. A few clouds across the area, but all in all, a relatively clear evening across much of southwest Louisiana. But there were enough high-thin cirrus clouds to allow beautiful sunset to be visible. This picture sent in by our weather watcher, Teresa Lyons in Lake Arthur, who always takes great photos. And I thought this one was nice with the oak tree in the foreground of the picture. And then, of course, the beautiful sunset in the background there with the high-thin cirrus just providing the beautiful colors. And, of course, some of the crawfish fields in the background as well. Temperatures from Teresa at 60 degrees. It's actually one of the warmest readings. It is the warmest. Goes to the Holly Beach area, 64 degrees there. 55 for Wanda Bailey and Sugartown is actually the coolest temperatures from our weather watchers. Other numbers outside Oakdale, the Allen Parish Airport is down to 54 degrees. That's the coolest on this map. 63 in Abbeville, 67 in Cameron. No surprise. The warmest temperature there. The dew points have creeped back up a little bit. You'll remember I showed these at 5 and 6. Numbers then were in the 30s and 40s. We're back to the 40s and 50s, but I don't think we're going to see these rise any further tonight. But tomorrow, and especially on Sunday, these numbers are likely to increase, making it feel much more uncomfortable. And in the morning, 40s and 50s for the most part. Satellite radar, not much going on to our south yet, but here comes the weather maker. You can see the warm front here, indicated here with the red line. That is going to lift north during the day tomorrow, sparking showers first over the Gulf, but I do expect them to stay far enough southwest to not impact land during the day. But watch by tomorrow night, those showers move ashore and then progress on to the east. I think the farther east we go is where we're likely to see our better rain chances. In fact, our Futurecast computer model locally shows that that's Sunday at 4 o'clock in the morning. Rain, especially from Vermilion Parish and points east, and that's primarily where most of it is going to stay. But no rain tonight. Temperatures in the 50s, clear and cool. Your 7-day forecast tomorrow. Another warm one, highs near 80 degrees. Again, rain more likely after midnight tomorrow night, so during the day Sunday, but
standing by on
I think it's done by noon at the latest here in southwest Louisiana.
On cam.
Maybe a few
We're going to go to video out of 1.
It's going to be a washout. Now, if you're watching us in Lafayette, probably more rain there in points east.
All right, nothing to mess up our weekend.
No, not too bad.
All right, thanks a lot, Wade. Coming up next, what your body shape can tell you about your risk for kidney disease. That story is 7 News Nightcast continues.
Killer Mike and Vane.
Okay, cancer risk report is that.
Our first story, D2 cancer risk report is dead. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. IQ.
A new study reveals why a person's body shape could determine their risk of kidney disease. Previous research has shown people who are apple-shaped or who have more fat around the abdomen are more likely to develop kidney disease than people who carry more weight in their hips and thighs. Now, scientists have discovered apple shape is associated with lower kidney function, lower kidney blood flow, and higher blood pressure within the kidneys, all of which increase the risk of kidney disease later in life. Researchers say many veterans who suffer serious limb injuries have lingering problems with pain and mental health. A study of almost 300 service personnel harmed in combat found they had little improvement in symptoms of depression, anxiety, PTSD, and other problems 2 years after their injury. And although their pain showed the most improvement 3 to 6 months post-injury, there was little progress after 1 year. Experts say these results suggest these veterans need ongoing pain management and psychological care to help them cope with the long-lasting effects of their injury.
Mike Q.
A parade passed through downtown Lake Charles this evening to kick off the Downtown Crawfish Festival for Parkinson's awareness. The parade featured the Washington Marion Marching Band and the festival pageant winners. The festival picks up again in full swing tomorrow at the Civic Center with opening ceremonies at 1 o'clock, followed by many musical performances.
Was there always a parade? I don't remember a parade before.
The Bayou Kingpins. There will also be a family day of the
I'm sorry, what was that?
on Sunday. And of course, there will be plenty of crawfish.
Well,
the Knees baseball are trying to start the weekend off with a win.
Oh.
Yes, taking on SFA, their rival, which is never
easy.
Who
does the crab
Whether
best?
Successful plus
Wiping.
turmoil in Tiger Town.
Some video from 3, like Cameron. Go 3.
Coming up in sports.
You're up in 3, 2, 1. Fade, take it. And like Cameron do a crab festival or something like that. Yeah. Well, do you have high blood pressure and stress and all that shit? Cholesterol? 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go see. Stand by. Go key my cue.
These sports having a big weekend ahead in Lake Charles with football having its spring games tomorrow, plus tennis and track.
Clear. Stand by video from 1.
Events, but to get all of the festivities started, McNeese Baseball opening its weekend series with Stephen F. Austin today.
Videos up.
Pitchers duel between the Lumberjacks and Cowboys going into the 8th inning. Then in the top of the 8th,
we're gonna wipe to a full screen next.
With bases loaded, Joseph Olsen up to bat and he flies out to left field for the sacrifice fly. Jackson Hood scores and it's 2-0 SFA. And then later in the inning, bases loaded again. Rene Morera grounding out to first. Chase Marion having some trouble handling it against the outmatch. Lamantia comes in to make it 3-0 Lumberjacks, but all SFA needed was run anyway. Chase Green dominating the mound. He pitched 8 1/3 innings, allowing no runs and throwing 10 strikeouts, and the Lumberjacks blanked the Cowboys 3-0. Game 2 takes place tomorrow at 3.
Full screen.
Number 1 LSU baseball continuing.
We're gonna advance our full screen on air and eventually go to a slot out of 2.
Arkansas 6-2. The win makes it 15 straight for LSU, including 10 straight in the SEC. Game 2 takes place at 6 tomorrow.
Next full screen.
We're less than 24 hours away from the much anticipated blue and gold spring game for McNeese football. The game kicks off at 1 and Cowboys fans can look forward to players like running back Marcus Wilkes or defensive back Ryan Bronson, who have stood out in scrimmages. But mostly an equal look at all the 2013 squad has to offer.
2.
You know, we just want to get the kids out here and give them an opportunity to perform.
So 20 seconds.
And see what they can do.
They can do
hurt, so we'll hold
10 more seconds. We're going to wipe the video out of 3.
Are healthy enough, we're going to give them an opportunity to and try to create enough game-like situations that we can for them.
Stimmas, Mike.
See what they can do.
Mike, you.
LSU football about a week away from its spring game, but still in the news.
We're going to go to a full screen next.
USA Today publishing a story about former Tiger Tyrann Mathieu, where according to an anonymous NFL coach, the Honey Badger admitted to failing over 10 drug tests while with the Tigers in a private interview. LSU and Mathieu coming out today with a joint response press release to the story.
You'd think after the first 5 times he would stop. But he's addicted to this shit, so.
But not confirm or deny the report of how many drug tests failed. We'll see if this new report affects Matthew's draft stock as the NFL draft begins on April 25th.
Full screen.
Day 2 of the Masters today.
Come back to tune to 2 for the sports out and stay tuned to 2 for the kicker bomb. It's a reader. You do a nice zoom out on 2.
Sits 3 strokes back at 3 under, and in high school baseball, Bars and St. Louis all victorious today.
All right, good for them. Thanks.
Sneaking cart, stand by break.
Wayne has your wake up weather. Stay with us.
And fade, take it. Two, 1, go see. Stand by their mics. My cues.
A little bit cool in the morning, temperatures in the low 50s, some upper 40s in some areas, especially north of I-10. Then
By the afternoon tomorrow, warming up quickly to around 80 degrees. Definitely a warm afternoon. I do think the rain holds off tomorrow. So again, all activities tomorrow look okay. It's just going to be warm and a little bit humid. The rain will come late tomorrow night, probably more in the order of after midnight through the early morning hours on Sunday. I'm still optimistic any outdoor plans late in the afternoon on Sunday should be okay. It's the time period from about midnight till around noon where we'll have at least some rain around the area.
We should be okay for the Crawfish Festival.
Yeah, should be okay tomorrow.
And the DeQuincy Rainbow Days Festival. Well, Lee, Cedric, and Seth are back here tomorrow evening for 70s Nightcast. We're always on at KPLC-TV.com.
So go
Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Kurt. $15. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fade, take it. Goodbye all.